Welcome back, guys. So, in today's lecture, we will be covering libraries in TOSCA automation. So, we will see what libraries are in TOSCA automation and how we can use them and why actually we need libraries in TOSCA automation. So, let's start. So, if you will see this particular screen, and also if you will recall inside your project and inside your team, probably most of you have gone through a common test suite catalog. So what is test suite catalog? So if you I will tell you in layman style. So test suite catalog can be classified into a kind of database which contains all your test cases which are already created during the previous testing, and they have been pulled to one common database which we named as test suite catalog, and we are taking as a reference of those test cases already created in the pulled in the test suite catalog for our future testing and the requirements. So to conclude that part, what I will say is these libraries will work as a catalog for you, or you can say a suite for you, or a database for you, where all your test cases will be accumulated together along with their sub test steps, which we can use n number of time in our upcoming testing. In this way, we will save our time to start the test cases from scratch, and also to use that duplication of the previous test folders to a new one, and then editing those test cases as per the requirement. Because if you will duplicate the test cases from a previous test projects, it will copy the artifacts as well. For example, if I am going to a URL which is different but the steps are same, so I will copy that particular duplicate test folder, but the URL will remain the older version, so we have to change it. So in that way, that will be a kind of maintenance for us for whenever we will do duplicate. So to avoid these things, we will create libraries so that it will help us to get these test cases along with the test step whenever required for future testing. So what we were doing till now is that we have created multiple test cases by duplicating our existing ones and then fitting those different test scenario according to our requirement in those test cases, correct? But as I told, these methods are not very favorable or a best practice, and they have their own limitations. So what we will do is we will take one more efficient method, where what we will do, we will use the libraries which are given advantage in the TOSCA is that they are giving us a feature of libraries and reusable test blocks. So we will take help of those libraries and use reusable test step blocks. What we will do, we will create the libraries, we will create the reusable test step blocks. In this way we will make a approach. You got my point? Okay. So this is how we will start. So as I told, we will get an advantage where we will not waste our time on creating step from scratch every time. We can create a library in which you can store those steps, correct? So what these libraries are called? So these libraries are called as test step libraries, correct? Now the steps inside this library you can use are known as reusable test step blocks, correct? So let me go to the TOSCA commander. So we are on TOSCA commander. Here if you will see, we have already created one end-to-end exercise. So this is our test case, correct? So it has preconditions, steps, post condition. Okay. So what we will do, we will create a library. Right click on test cases. Okay. And here if you will see, there is an option of library creation which is with symbol of L. We will click on it and we will give it a name as library. Okay. So what we will do, as you know, whenever we are doing any kind of testing, we are starting from this first point and ending till last for a particular scenario. We suppose if we are doing an end-to-end scenario, we will be logging and then we will be logging out. So in similar way, we will create a library where we will start from the scratch and end it to the end of the application. So what we will do, we will drag the preconditions. Okay, so let me drag it. Correct, I have dragged it here. Precondition. Now the steps. So I have moved it here. Now the conditions, correct? So if you will see this, there are two things you can see. There is a common mistake everyone does whenever creating a library. What they do, they will directly drag it and move it down the library. Hence it will create a new precondition, a new step as a test case, correct? So we do not have to do that thing. What we have to do is, let me delete it. We have to drag it and move it and leave it to library folder itself, correct? Now see, it is coming here as a what can we say, the sub parts. Now steps. And have you observed one more thing? Here there is this has been, the symbol has been changed from a simple plain folder to arrow mark. This arrow mark is representing what it is representing. It is representing that these test steps are taken as reference for a library. So if you will go back to your slide, what we will see. So here you can see libraries are called as test step libraries, and the steps inside the library are called as test steps block. Okay. So here these libraries, what are they? They are folders and they are the reusable test cases, correct? These are reusable test cases. You got my point? And we will use these reusable test cases for our future upcoming test cases. And if you will see, these are in sorted in alphabetical order as well, like P, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, M, N, O, P, Q, R. So pre is coming second and it is first. So if you want, you can arrange it as per your requirement. So if you will see down, you can see you have all the test steps under it, and if you will come here, you can see them. Okay. So in steps also you can do in the same way. So these are the libraries which we have, and we can use them in future whenever we want. So we will discuss in another lecture how to use them and what are the advantages and the other things we will discuss in next lecture. So till then, thank you.